This episode, we ask, is there such a thing as the perfect all-rounder cruise ship? And have we just been on it? Brand spanking new and recently launched, are we finally looking at the one ship that offers just about everything, yet within the grasp of almost anyone who wants to give it a try? Let's find out. Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill, and it's great to have you along with us. Now, this episode we've been waiting to film for a very long time, as we look at one ship, one cruise line, to see if it's finally ticked all of the boxes to keep all of us happy. We're laser focused on our goal. We're not looking for the cheapest cruise out there, nor the most overpriced, not the smallest, not the biggest ship. Find the best all-round ship out there. So, what's the ship we've just been aboard for the making of this edition? It's their latest flagship, ready for the 2024 cruising season. It's the new Celebrity Ascent. And the reason we chose to book and test this particular ship is because on paper, it has a very real chance to contest for the title of Best All-Rounder. All of the ingredients are there. But having potential on paper and actually achieving it are two totally different things. So, let's get going. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to dissect and review every inch of the ship, from the decks, to the restaurants, to the entertainment. We've got all our camera gear with us, including our 360-degree ones, to give you those bird's eye and horizon views. It might just get a little bit trippy and psychedelic at times. We'll show you the restaurants and dining options, the entertainment outlets, we'll take a look at the cutting-edge theatre, and we'll take a stroll around deck at night. And I can tell you, it's one of the most striking deck areas at sea. And for food lovers, we'll cover the buffet. And we'll tell you whether we were impressed with it or not. Also in this episode, we're going to take a look at an incredibly contentious cabin that has been very controversial. We're going to be looking at that infinite veranda cabin. By the end of this episode, we'll all come to a conclusion on whether this is indeed the best all-round ship at sea. It's going to be a bumper edition, so get yourself comfortable, get in a cozy chair, get yourself a drink. As before, we've not been paid for this review. These are entirely our own decisions. Nobody has told us what to say. Right off the bat, I would have to say the Ascent has some of the most innovative and clever designs, both inside and out. It is what I would classify as a medium-sized cruise ship. With just over 3,200 passengers, it's what you might call that Goldilocks zone. Big enough to offer a large range of facilities, lots of restaurants, deck space and entertainment zones. But definitely not one of today's megaships that can feel like an amusement park at sea. Celebrity is in the medium to premium sector, so you can expect an upmarket and classy ship. Let's start inside first, then we'll move outside. And the heartbeat of the ship is the Grand Plaza, their central atrium. Day or night, it's a real eye-catcher. You come here to drink, people watch, listen to music, and while the hours away. It's like the town square with cocktail bar attached. Buzzy and full of life. There's great lighting from above, and I would say the overall design feel is upmarket and welcoming. Now, when we saw the artistic drawings of this before launch, we weren't sure if the bar area and atrium would become too raucous, too loud, too distracting. But I can say I think they've absolutely got it right. Just enough entertainment to amuse without stepping over the line. At the center of the Grand Plaza is the Martini Bar. At night it comes alive. And it has some of the most entertaining bar staff we've seen at sea. They really enjoy putting on a show and demonstrating their acrobatic and entertaining skills. Okay, let's head outside. And here we are right at the top of the ship. Great bird's eye view down to the pool deck. The pool area is nice and spacious. It's one of the larger pools you get on a cruise ship at sea. Yes, it does fill up, and yes, you do have to get a recliner before 9 o'clock in the morning, but is doing most things right. Throughout the day, you'll get a series of poolside activities, from aquarobics to pool volleyball and other water-based sports, including this obscure quad-shaped volleyball. At each corner of the pool, up high, you have jacuzzis, some of them shaped a little like a cocktail or martini glass, and they're big enough to be able to get yourself a turn, and are a great way to while away your day. Here we are, perched in there. And these jacuzzis are covered with a sail, well done Celebrity. You don't always want to roast under the sun. And there are other jacuzzis, which we'll see in a moment, in different areas of the ship, for those who want a more quiet or a different view. Around one side of the pool area are private cabanas for hire. You want to feel like a film star, where you can order your champagne or cocktails, roped off to keep out the riffraff and the unwanted. And high up above, there is a walking and a jogging track. All in all, we give the pool area a thumbs up. Coming up shortly, we're going to take a look at the food aboard, including the main dining rooms and the buffet, and one of our favourite places of all on ship, the delightful Rooftop Garden. But first, let's take a look at the entertainment, because there are several options. First off, let's look at the theatre, because it's an absolute stunner. This design was rolled out on the earlier Edge-class ships. The stage is almost in the round, with a huge LED screen that wraps right around. I visited here earlier in the day so you can see it better. It really does add to the feel of productions. And newer ship theatres are really much better than they used to be in years gone by. Far better lines of sight from just about every seat in the room. Throughout the cruise, there was the usual mix of song and dance from the ship's entertainers, invited guest singers. These two were actually very good and had great voices, and the ship's theatrical group also includes acrobats and high-wire specialities, which afforded them the opportunity to put on circus-style shows. Technically, the theatre is fantastic, with excellent lighting and sound, and with that LED screen, you do feel like you've come to a spectacle. This venue I absolutely have to give 10 out of 10. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it lets us know we're on the right track and you'd like to see more of this type of material. And right next door to the theatre is the club. Think of it as a nightclub come recreational facility. By night it puts on a range of acts. It's on 2 floors, again featuring good lighting to give the necessary effects. The club also holds disco evenings, themed nights, karaoke, and a whole gamut of musical affairs, as well as this, a cabaret-style late-night show. Now be warned again, the late-night shows get packed. Get there early. By day, the club is far more tame, holding bingo or quizzes and game shows. In addition to the club, there's the almost obligatory cruise activity of a silent disco. Silent discos are polarizing with cruisers. You either love them or you hate them. But you will see them now on almost every cruise line. If you've not seen them before, you get given complimentary headphones and there's a choice of channels to listen to, with different musical genres. You then dance and sing to your heart's content. The point being the music is not blaring out over public speakers. It's just a bit odd walking around the venue if you're not part of it, hearing people singing songs you can't actually hear yourself. But you work it out eventually when you hear the lyrics being sung badly or otherwise. If you want to go further into the night, Celebrity also hosts deck parties. Here we are around the pool almost at midnight. These deck parties are reasonably well attended. You get given out for free these handy little lit celebrity light sticks. You can imagine they're lightsabers and you can dance around as if you're in a musical Star Wars. Incidentally, whilst we were on this cruise, we were not alone. Oh no. There was a film shoot taking place on the Ascent. Lights, camera, action! An array of actors and film crew, because that week they were producing a series of celebrity TV commercials. Each day a section of the ship was carefully filmed and photographed. I just accidentally walked past by mistake. I was just on my way to the Eden breakfast and they said, "Oi, you're in our shot." I said, "Sorry about that." To see how that panned out and how it impacted the cruise, keep a lookout for an upcoming video on our Ritzy Travel Guide channel, as in that we'll cover what happens when a film shoot is on your cruise and how it can impact you. What does this script say? I'm having the time of my life. This is amazing. Look out to sea. Point. Remember to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so you know when that video comes out. Still to come in this video, we're looking at the cabins, one of the best coffee shops at sea. By the way, just to mention, for those who wonder what there is to do at sea, we will be issuing a video as part of our video diary series. The captain's just come on. He's a quirky guy, I like him.
The only captain actually speaks it as is.
The captain just came on and he said, I know you couldn't care less about our position, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I like the cut of his jib. How we filled our days, the activities we tried.
It's very competitive.
It helps you to get really immersed, so you can imagine. It's great for some people who can't travel for a variety of reasons. It's like an armchair version of cruising. You can find earlier ships in our playlist, and this one is coming soon. I haven't made that video yet, so if you've got any particular requests, please jot them down and put them in the comments box below. Now it's time to look at the food. We'll start off first with the main dining rooms, then we'll cover the speciality dining, and the one that most people request to see, the buffet. Now, on all the Celebrity Edge class of ships, there are in fact 4 main dining rooms. All are complimentary, and each serves an array of always available items, but then they have their own section of the menu that's unique to each outlet. So let's look at them all in turn, because they all have slight nuances to them. First off, let's look at the Normandie, possibly named after the famous ocean liner from the 1930s. As the name suggests, the menu is French-inspired, and to my mind, the venue has rich colours and opulent lighting. For an included restaurant, I think the effect is quite striking and has a lovely feel. Food on the menu here includes items such as escargot and French onion soup. And tonight we're in the Normandie, and I'm really rather taken by the thought of some baked brie cheese to start with, and the main course, I'm thinking of some beef sirloin en croûte with some roquefort. It's well known on board Celebrity for its French onion soup. Look at that. Thick, gooey, sticky cheese. If you had smell-o-vision, you would smell my French onion soup.
That is oozing, bro.
It is oozing. The Gruyere is wafting downwind for anybody who hasn't ordered it, who might be feeling a bit jealous. I tell you what, it smells good before I've even put my spoon in there. Next up is the Tuscan, which is Italian. Again, we feel the theming is great. Black and white and gold, with a 1960s film star Sophia Loren vibe going on. Service here, in fact across all of the 4 main dining rooms, we thought was above average and very attentive. The wait staff did go above and beyond. I think of the 4 main dining rooms, this is the one that I like best. Not to say there's anything wrong with the others, but I like the style of this one. It's got a certain flamboyance. And for an appetizer, we have pappardelle. Incoming, what do we have? Prime rib.
That is a very tender piece of duck breast.
It's been cooked well, has it? You'd give the chef a good solid 9 out of 10 for that one? And tonight we have cannoli. That is a good cannoli. Beautiful texture. Got some crunch, got some cream. Nutty. Next choice is the Cyprus, which along with the usual Celebrity always available items has a selection of Greek specialities. And we really enjoy the food here. It's not the type of food you usually get across other cruise lines, and that made for a welcome change. And tonight we dine at a Cyprus restaurant. Incoming, we have some Cypriot short ribs. Really beautiful flavour, that. Yeah, that's really just falling off the bone. That's beautifully cooked. Must have been cooked for hours.
That meat falls off the bone.
And the final main dining room of the 4 is the Cosmopolitan, which serves contemporary, international and American cuisine. Again, it features swooping lights. Wouldn't want to change all of those light bulbs? The Cosmopolitan is also the designated restaurant for breakfast and lunchtime meals, if you want to eat in the main dining rooms at those times. Incoming pan-seared cod.
I love the presentation. It almost looks like a Zen garden.
It is really. I don't think I've ever seen a presentation like. Is this cold cauliflower? Oh, this is the flan.
This is the
I'm
flan.
not sure I've seen a flan that looks
I
like
think
that
it's
before. It looks
like-
like a soup. I was waiting for your reaction.
It's nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? Or are you just being polite?
It has like a mousse, and I think that is a crunch in the vegetable. Not sure.
Now, in our second video, we will also go through the occasional hiccup we met at the main dining room. Because there was one particular occasion that had my wife practically falling over. Are you all right? Buffet coming up in just a minute, I promise you, but first, let's take a quick whiz round the speciality dining options so you know what's available. As on board, there are quite a few options, in fact 8 speciality dining to be exact, but we'll focus on just a few of them here. First up, for casual dining, there's the Grand Bistro, harking back to Paris and the Champs-Élysées. It has a casual and laid-back atmosphere. It's nicely themed with pots and pans casually strung up on the wall. I can almost imagine a French man in a beret and garlic strung around his neck, strolling through. And there are great views out to sea. In here you'll get popular dishes such as croque monsieur, or coq au vin, or a bouillabaisse. At night, this venue becomes Le Petit Chef restaurant, and here you can see the projection system coming from the ceiling, where they superimpose your dishes on your table. The Petit Chef has a mixed reaction. People either think it's cutesy and fun, or a gimmick and completely overpriced. But in recent times, the price has really ramped up, and I'm not entirely sure it's worth the price they're charging. Next up is the steakhouse. It's just a short walk along the elevated gangway, so you can have a peer down at the Grand Plaza as you toddle along. It's the Fine Cut. It's also an additional cost venue, and decor-wise, it's got a contemporary, dare I say, upmarket feel. Golden plates glinting in the sun. Again, I personally really like the look and design. Steakhouses don't have to remain stuck in the 70s and 80s. They can evolve, if done right, and I think this has been. Lots of ceiling lighting, cosy chairs, views out to sea, and nice booths to one side, which have an elevated view down to the Grand Plaza. There is lattice work protecting you, so you shouldn't get too much vertigo. And just around the corner is Raw and 5. It's Celebrity's Japanese fish and sushi restaurant. You can order seafood platters, or indeed towers of it, sashimi and sushi. Again, the restaurant has great views out to sea, and again I applaud Celebrity on this. There are far too many other new cruise ships now where the outlets are inward facing, which gets claustrophobic and misses the whole point of being on a ship. Very shortly we'll show you the buffet, and I think you'll enjoy what we have to say about that. And also we'll show you one of our favourite coffee shops at sea. But first we do want to mention what's right at the aft of the ship, and an example of what we feel Celebrity have got absolutely right. And that's the Eden Complex. Before you even get there is the quirky passageway leading up to it. A fun and whimsical collection of seating to look out to sea. Is that chair comfortable?
It's actually very, very comfortable, despite it being look like a flower.
What would you call it? Is it a lotus? Is it a
I think it's like a lily pad.
Instagram-worthy shot, isn't it?
It is a feast for the eye, but it's functional and comfortable at the same time.
This then leads you to the Eden Atrium, which has huge vaulted ceilings and wraparound glass, especially looking out to the aft and the sea beyond. It's a really stunning setting. Within Eden, there's all variety of seating to plonk yourself in and lose yourself for a few hours.
The great part of Eden Cafe is just the variety of chairs.
Yes, it's a designer's paradise, the Eden Cafe. It's very eclectic. Loads of different little sections and corners and nooks and crannies. A bar that comes alive at night. I like the Eden look. It's been designed with an inch of its life, this room. I have to say, in all honesty, the Edge class of ships have more than any other ship I know ample seating for passengers. Just about anywhere around the ship you'll find a corner where you can sit and relax. So many other ships have almost no seating. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. You found a little nook and cranny here at the Eden.
1, 2,
At one side is their dedicated Eden Cafe that's open for breakfast and lunch. It's an included outlet in the cruise fare. We tried it out at various times of the day and really enjoyed the offerings. It's healthy style for breakfast and deli style for lunch. And a tip here, it has a great outdoor seating area that almost nobody knows about, and you're easily able to get a table.
And Bill has immediately tucked in and placed his order. What have you ordered, Bill?
Wait, see, it's healthy. I've gone for a healthy breakfast. You see, healthy.
Shall we just show the healthy option first?
Yes.
Before we swing the camera around?
What?
To the
It's got eggs in, you see? Healthy. At the basement of the Eden complex down some stairs is the Speciality Dining Eden restaurant. This is an additional cost, and it's open at night and occupies a glorious position, also looking out to sea. The top tier of Eden gives you a great view down, and is popular also at night because they hold evening cabaret shows here at various times throughout the cruise. But be warned, those cabaret shows are popular and get extremely busy. You'll need to get there well ahead of time. Incidentally, with this video, we're looking at the latest, newest, gleaming flagship in the Celebrity range. But in a few weeks' time, we'll be trying out the exact opposite and taking a cruise on almost the oldest ship in the Celebrity fleet. It's over 22 years old. Why on earth, you might ask, would we be booking this? Because all of the cruise lines now have an inventory of older ships that they haven't retired, and they're trying to convince us to go on them. But should we? Are they still worth booking, or should you avoid them like the plague? So we thought we'd put it to the test. We'll be on board one of their oldest ships. That video will be titled along the lines of New Celebrity versus Old Celebrity, so remember to look out for that one when it comes out. Any second now, we'll be looking at the buffet. I know I've been promising you that, but it is coming very, very shortly. But first, I just wanted to drop by the Cafe Bacio, because it's one of our favourite places of all on the ship. It's a great hangout, and indeed I think is one of the best coffee shops at sea. It's on most of the Celebrity ships, but I think on the Ascent and the Edge class of ships, they have it best. It's right opposite the Grand Plaza, so when there's a musician in residence over there, the music wafts across to you. It's really popular with passengers and proves to be a fantastic hangout and meeting place. There's comfy seats, workstations for those with laptops or devices, and they have tabletop charging there too. It's the place to chit-chat, people watch, and of course get a coffee and a bite to eat. It's specialty coffee, so it's not complimentary, but it's also not expensive. It's equivalent to normal high street prices. The delectable snacks, though, are complimentary. No coffee purchase required to grab some. Okay, here we go. This is what they've got on offer. There's some Black Forest cake, some vegan orange cake for those who say, what vegan offerings do they have? There we go. Some coconut cake, and some tempting little tartlets and brownies and pear Nutella tarts. All gluten-free, and some quiche. And some cookies on the bottom row, just to keep the wolf from the door until dinner time. We really like the Cafe Bacio. Alright, the time is now. Let's head up to the 14th deck and the buffet. Alrighty, let's cut to the chase. And right off the bat, I have to say this is one of the best buffets we've been to on any cruise at any price point. The sheer range of foods available and the quality is first class. Ordinarily, we're not necessarily huge fans of buffets, as the food can often be lukewarm and unimaginative and of mediocre standards. Not here. This is very definitely something to get much more excited about.
I have never seen a buffet on board as good as that.
So what makes us say this? Well, for a variety of reasons. First off, the layout. It's a huge, let's call it a hall. High ceilings, bright, airy feeling to it, and wide open access to all the aisles. Since the first Edge class of ships, Celebrity have been getting this spot on. And plenty of seating, with great sea views if you want them. It's not often we say that buffet food is of a quality at least as good as the main dining room. But in this case, it comes very close, if not occasionally surpassing it. I think I might be in heaven. With the fromagerie, what more could a guy at sea want, or a girl at sea want, than gooey cheese leaking off the cheese board? Look at this seafood bonanza. There's a huge selection on offer from all around the globe. And considering the price point of Celebrity, which is mid to premium, the standard is class-beating. Biryani on the Indian section. Look at the desserts today. Well done, chefs. Chocolate fountain. Look at that. Now, if you'd like to see an extended version of what this buffet has, please drop a comment in the box below and I'll put out an additional video. What was offered has to be congratulated. And there's also a selection of gluten-free items, including desserts. Now, there is the usual pizza area at the back, but there's not a huge selection, but it's not too bad. And there's a little pizza section here right at the back of the buffet, where you can pick one of their selections, or you can ask them to make one to your design. And we enjoy chatting to the pizza chefs. And again, higher! For alfresco lovers, there's the usual outdoor deck at the back, almost always with available table space. Perhaps people just couldn't be bothered to walk those extra few paces to get there. We did, and we enjoyed the position. Now, earlier on we looked at the pool area, but if a ship is going to be a serious contender for all-round cruise award, it's nice to have outside areas apart from the pool that can give some peace and quiet, and a variety of leisure and deck pursuits. And this is in the form of their rooftop garden at the top of the ship. It's one of the nicer areas we've seen at sea on any cruise ship. Beautifully designed, it's part retreat, part sports and recreation area. Now, I think this is one of the prettier aspects of edge-class ships with the Celebrity. It's their roof garden. Let's take a peep. Ah, how calming is this? Early morning stretches on the deck. Bit of Zen music in the background. Early morning gardening going on.
I think what it is there's a lot of outdoor spaces that feel very, very elegant. And yet at the same time, you feel as though you're on a ship, and what's inside has a view of the outside, and that's very, very nice.
Not many other cruise lines are getting this mix right. A little bit upmarket with lots of nice outdoor spaces. See, there we are. We could be the Hamptons. Pickleball in operation. Ooh, I almost stepped onto the deck activities here. Almost got kneecapped by these incoming cushions. And here's the real plus point. On other ships or cruise lines, this area would very definitely be part of an exclusive pricing tier for suites only. Not here. It's entirely complimentary with access for all guests. We really do want to give top marks for this section of the ship. It gives that tranquility for those that want to get away from more hectic parts of the ship. Attached to it are a series of jacuzzis and seating areas, looking both inwards and out to sea. Leading off the rooftop is the Sunset Bar, again one of our favourites, a lovely place to sit in the early evening. It does seem to cosset and wrap around you, and has stunning 270-degree views at the very back. There's always a great vibe here. It's a lively bar with good decor, and it's a fun place to hang out pre-dinner. We enjoyed watching the sun go down from here most evenings, and a lively band provided atmosphere. Next to the Sunset Bar is an additional cost dining venue, the Rooftop Garden Grill. Barbecue meats, pizzas and salads. Now, the magic carpet is also designated as Speciality Dining. If you haven't come across the magic carpet or heard about it before, it's something that's pretty much unique to Celebrity and their edge class of ships. And I really like it. It's a clever bit of design. Think of it like a conservatory or a glass room that's cantilevered out the side of the ship. It moves up and down at various times of the day. It provides unparalleled views out to sea. It's multi-purpose and doubles as an observation deck, occasional tenderboat platform, a bar and a restaurant. During the day there's no cost to sit there and use it as a bar. At night it is fee-paying for the meals. I've got the 360-degree camera out so you can get a feel for the space. To be honest, it's a great unobstructed viewing platform. In a moment we're going to be looking at the cabins aboard the ship because we haven't covered those yet. But just whilst we're looking at the ship after sundown, I do want to show you how the Ascent looks at night because it's really quite striking. see how the Celebrity Ascent looks at night. Let's take a little stroll around the ship, see what we can find. The ship is one of the most beautifully lit I've seen. The various sections pop out at you almost in 3D. And the martini glass style jacuzzis. From the deck you can look up at the performing areas through the slightly curious squid, or is it an octopus? The Celebrity X logo lit up as we steam through the night sky. At night, the Red Arches is a beautiful walkway, with almost no one about, very calming and very therapeutic. For just that moment in time, the world seems a little bit calmer, a little bit more peaceful, and all is good. Now, for our cruise on the Celebrity Ascent, we were in the Caribbean, and we had some interesting port stops. And I am thinking of putting out a separate dedicated video of our times ashore. If you'd like to see our trip to the Bahamas, let me know in the comments box below, as we had an absolutely hysterical afternoon at a rum punch stall. Okay, what have we got here? Baba Roots, tell us about that one.
Oh, this is Roots.
The night's going to go well with that one, is it?
That's right, man, that's right.
It's an aphrodisiac.
They use it for stamina.
Followed by lunch, trying out conch.
His eyes aren't on the food, you know, his eyes are up here.
Let me know in the comments box below, and I'll put that video together. Right, we haven't yet looked at cabins aboard the Celebrity Ascent. We tried out two, the Oceanview, as well as the infamous Infinite Veranda, which has caused so much controversy and consternation online. Let's have a look at those. First off, let's start with the Infinite Veranda cabin, as that's the one that has stirred up so much controversy online. Why, you might ask, has this particular cabin grade whipped up such a storm of both happiness and annoyance? Well, to some it doesn't really feel like a balcony at all, which is why Celebrity possibly calls it a veranda instead, to get round that, because it's not really outside at all. In fact, to some, it's just a large window. The window opens electronically, and when fully open, gives a great breeze. I feel the room is spacious and nicely done, well, to our eyes anyway. Let me know in the comments what you think of the colours and the feel of it. There's a largish sofa, there's lots of cabinetry and desk space, as well as a huge TV at the end of the bed with several channels. And there's socketry to cover just about all options, and cables are tucked away in this little cubby
So you
box.
have 220, 110 volt, you have USB chargers, all neatly boxed, with little slots for cables that comes out.
There's reasonably generous closet space too. We managed to get all our items in it. As for the bathroom, it's spacious and modern. There's a large shower with glass cubicle, none of this shower curtain stuff. There's also a lot of electronic choices on the panel by the bathroom, to open and close that infamous huge window and close the blinds. But in fairness, there are some downsides to this cabin. In fact, I can think of 5, possibly more. But to fully go through the attributes of this cabin would take 10 to 15 minutes. So rather than putting it all here, I'll release in the next couple of days a dedicated video showing you it all, as well as also the Oceanview cabin. There are very few videos on YouTube for the Oceanview, so I think looking at both cabins will be helpful for those looking for the options. So, is the Celebrity Ascent the best all-round cruise ship that's ever been built? And by extension, all of the Edge series of ships, because there are 4 of them, and apart from a few fractional differences, they're almost the same. Well, I think they come as close as you conceivably can get to suiting the vast majority of people. There's never going to be one, but I think they're right up there. I'm not saying it's the cheapest, I'm not saying it's the most expensive, I'm not saying it's the most luxurious, but is it the best all-rounder ship? The one that manages to combine all of the attributes for most cruisers? I would say if it's not number 1, I would say it's very close. It gets almost all of the boxes ticked and gets most things right. Now, who won't the Celebrity Ascent suit? What hasn't it got? Fair and square, the Ascent, and in fact all Celebrity ships, are not aimed at thrill lovers. There are no roller coasters, no flumes, no deck slides, no joyrides, It's just not that type of ship, and in fact, it's not aiming to be one. For that, there's Royal Caribbean, or Norwegian Cruise Lines, or MSC or Carnival. Who else might this cruise possibly not suit? Well, if you like things very formal. On the Celebrity Edge class of ships, there's no traditional afternoon tea in a grand ballroom, with waiters swooping in with silver platters, nor formal evenings where you might don a tux or a dinner jacket. If that's more your thing, then Cunard, Oceania or Crystal would be your best bet. Entertainment on the Ascent is a little bit more, shall we say, visible and upbeat than you would get on those lines. Celebrity also aren't attempting to be your ultra high-end. For that, you'd be better off with the likes of Regent or Seabourn. I would say that what Celebrity excels at is those looking for good food, a middle to upmarket vibe and experience, and they have years of experience at it. I would say the majority of cruisers aboard are in their 40s and 50s, though you do equally get those in their 20s and 30s. But age isn't really the issue here. It's what people are trying to get out of a cruise with Celebrity. And that's a high standard with good entertainment and good food. It's possibly right at the top of my list for best all-rounder. Coming up in the next few days is part 2 of this review series, our often requested video diary. In that, we'll take a look at how you would spend a typical day aboard, what activities might titillate you. It's our armchair guide to life on the ship. We try to take a light-hearted and fun look at what goes on, bringing a smile and raising a few eyebrows. It's our Let Your Hair Down series. After that, our cabin review.
Now, I know you have got a couple of observations about this cabin.
For me, one of the oddest part of this room.
And then next month, depending on when you're watching this, we compare old with new. The Ascent here is the latest. That upcoming trip, we take the oldest in the fleet, nearly 25 years old, God forbid. We want to see if there's still a place in the cruise industry for these aging ships, and whether you should be lured or tempted by some cheap deals currently going round to get you on board those. As usual, we'll be honest to a T. Thanks so much for joining us on the Ritzy Travel Guide. A lot to see over coming weeks and months. If you haven't already seen it, you can see this video here. If you've seen that one, have a look at so many other videos in our playlist. And we'll see you in those.